Hi guys, Andrea Mills here. Thanks for coming over this morning. We've got a crazy noisy house this morning, so hopefully I can get through this without things getting too boisterous. Yes, so lots of you have been asking about my little wall file system. So today I'm going to show you guys what that is and how it works and how I try to keep things organized. I am by nature a piler, so I always have piles of stuff all over my desk, and I've tried to come up with systems to help me not be a piler and find what I need a little bit better. So that's what this is all about, and I guess I will just show you how I do it. First of all, this is an armoire that we use for a coat closet, and it used to be in a different place, but when we did some rearranging, we put it right here, so the back of it is against my desk. So Tom took the back off of the armoire, and then we put some quilt batting on it and some fabric, and then replaced it, so it made like kind of a nice pretty back to it, just to make it more decorative. And then I already had some of these vertical wall files. They have the kind that are horizontal that you can put regular file folders in, but I had bought the vertical ones so that I could use them on the side of a cabinet, because the horizontal style was too wide. So that's why I had these. So I already had a couple of them. Then when we did this, I went ahead and just got more and made this whole wall of file holders. And then I've already showed you a video on how, or made a video on how I make these vertical file folders, so you can check that out if you want to know how I do that. So I've been reorganizing in my office a little bit, so things are a little different now than they were. As I've used it, I kind of thought of ways that I thought would work better. So basically, overall, what this is a place to keep stuff that is going to be either temporary or need to be gotten into frequently, and an attempt to keep me from piling it all on my desktop. And the basic premise is that I have papers that need to go somewhere temporarily, so they go into a file, and then I put a sticky note on the front of the box that tells what action needs to be taken. So I have some recipes that I want to make some menu cards for my menu card box, so I have a file there that tells me these are the papers that have to do with that, and this is what needs done. So I'll just start here at the top and show you kind of one by one what is actually in each one of these files. So this section has to do with things that I'm going to do for our home paperwork, like paying bills and things like that, or just any of the kind of stuff that I would sit down at my desk and do. And this first file here is for my husband's business, and I do all the paperwork for that. And so I have this file for when we get checks in the mail from people. I go ahead and stick the envelopes in here and tell my day that I am going to do my paperwork, and then just anything that I accumulate in between the days that I work on this kind of paperwork, I just stick it all into this file so that nothing gets lost, and I have it ready when I need it. Because I used to just pile things on my desk. Well, that's because I'm a piler, and then I was afraid that I was going to lose things and bad things were going to happen. So this is my business file. All business mail goes in here till I'm ready to open it. Oh, and I should mention that all business notes are going to be in blue. So you'll see down here I don't have anything that's blue, so none of this pertains to business projects. Anything that has to do with household stuff is in green. So up here in my home and desk work stuff, I have this file which is called Bill Paying Day, and one day per month I sit down and do all the bill paying and all the paperwork associated with that. So anytime a bill comes in the mail, I stick it into this file. I also keep in here stuff that has to do with paying our income taxes, because we have to pay quarterly, so I just keep that stuff in here. And anything that comes in that I know can wait until bill paying day, I just tuck that in here, and then I deal with it all at one time on bill paying day, and I don't lose any of my mail, because when we first got married, I did not have any idea how to do a system, and I lost bills and things like that. So this is now how I keep from losing bills. Even if I stack the rest of my mail, anything that has to do with business or bills gets tucked right away into these files, and that's why they're in the easiest spot to grab also, because I don't want to procrastinate about putting that stuff away. My last file up here has to do with my shopping day, so anything that I like, coupons that I want to save, or my inventory list or anything like that goes into the shopping day file. And the ones that are permanent, that always stay here, have these kind of nicer file tabs. Ones that are temporary, I just use sticky notes to label them. Next to the home and desk work stuff, I have temporary files. And right now we are getting ready to go on our vacation, and so I have a temporary file that has to do with anything that I have printed out, like our hotel reservations, the tickets that we've already printed out for Knott's Berry Farm and things like that. They're all going in here, and then I can keep track of stuff. And I have a note here that I actually just did that, so I can take that off. But now that we're going to be driving straight through and staying with some family, we don't need our hotel reservations anymore. So I put a note up here to remind me that I needed to do that, and that just got done right before I made this video, so I can actually, we'll just take that off right now. Done. Next is my folders and clipboards. So I just keep empty folders in this one, and my clipboards that I use, so when I need to grab one for making a temporary file or I'm doing my inventories, all of that stuff is right there handy. Then we come down to our homeschool and children's stuff file, and we aren't in school right now, we haven't started, but this is the file folder where we keep all their tests. So when they get a new PACE, we pull the test out of the middle and we stick it in here, and then they know where to find it when they're ready. And then the file behind, I don't know, buddy. The file behind is where we keep stuff about their science projects that they do from their PACEs, so that when we do our little science fair, everything is there and ready. And next is, these are things that are my own notes and personal stuff. Right now I have a file in here for keeping stuff that I want to use in videos that I'm making, and when I read books I like to make book reports sometimes so that I can remember stuff I want to try or implement, so I put those in there. And all of these are the permanent files, but I will sometimes put temporary files in here too when I have something in particular that I want to work on. Then next I have my catalogs and reference things, so just certain catalogs that I like to look at. Sometimes I keep those in here, and then when I get a new one I throw out the old one and put the new one in that file. This is the stuff, the row that has changed. I relabeled things to work in a way that I felt like fit better with how I think. So this one is labeled now stuff to do as soon as possible. So I put in here things that really need to get done soon. Like I need to send in a notice of intent for our homeschool for this year, and that's purple because anything to do with the kids and schooling I have in purple. So that's the only thing in here right now, but anything that was like really important would go into this section. Then over here I have stuff to do soonish, and these are things that I want to get done, but you know, fairly soon, but aren't emergency type things. And you can see there's a lot of stuff in this one. And green again has to do with our household, or you know, just family type things. Purple has to do with school. Pink has to do with my own personal stuff, and then blue would have been business, but I don't have anything in there blue. So then when I, as I said, when I have something that needs to be done, I go ahead, hey there, noisy girl, and I make a temporary file with I mark what's in there. So this is like field trip ideas. I got a bunch of brochures on different tourist places around here, and I want to make something to organize that. So all those are in that file. And then down here I say update my school binder, put a field trip section. So I have that kind of all on here, and I can see not just what's in the files, but also what sort of action I'm waiting to take on that file. And then when I do it, I just throw away the sticky note and deal with whatever papers inside, throw them away or whatever, and then put the now empty file back up into the folder section to wait for being used again. And the last one is stuff to do sometime. This is just stuff I would like to do, but has no sort of a time limit, just something nice to get done. Like I wanted to laminate the number train that came in the kindergarten paces, cut it out and laminate it, so I have all the number train pages in there, and then I have make a number train right there on that note. In addition to those wall files, I also have these 4 bins here, and I actually just looked one day at the big mess on my desk and tried to make some general categories so I could kind of get it under control, and that's how I came up with these. So this one has to do with my husband's business stuff. This one is things for school. This one I called everything else, and this one is reading material. So instead of piling things on my desk, I try to pile them in these bins so they're somewhat sorted, and I like that they were clear so that I could see all the way to the bottom of the pile. These are actually meant to be turned the other direction, so this is the side of it, but I wanted the clear side showing, and that's how it fit on my desk. And I got these at Office Depot, I believe. And so how I do it is, this is mainly for stuff that's completely done with. I just need to permanently file this in the file cabinet, or maybe write down the kids' test scores or something like that. So any of my husband's paperwork, when it gets done, I just drop it into this bin until I'm ready to put it in the permanent files. And kids' school stuff, when they're finished with a PACE or a test, after I've scored the test, I drop it in here. And score keys that need to be put away, or anything that has to do with the school that's done, we just drop it into the school bin. This is where I put literally everything else. That's my other category. So anything that needs to be filed in the file cabinet or put in the scrapbooks or anything like that that needs dealt with, that's not needing to be accessed again soon for something, just I drop it in this bin. And then this bin here is for newspapers, catalogs, and magazines that I haven't read yet and I want to get to them. So I'll just drop them in here until I'm ready to read them, or I pick through it and throw stuff away. So I try to keep these, once they get to the top, I try to deal with whatever's inside of it and not let it get too overflowing, but sometimes they get stacked up to like here before I get around to it. I also have this little sorter thing next to my desk. These were actually not meant to be stacked, but I stacked them up and I used some packing tape on the back to hold them together. But this is what I use so the kids can kind of self-sort their schoolwork when they need my help. So if I'm busy, they put their PACE or whatever it is that they need help with into this bin here so that I can see right away what needs to be done, so I can deal with the fastest stuff first and then help the kids who need a little bit longer. So if they need me to score something in their PACE or a test, they stick it in this bin. If they need to read to me or need like help with schoolwork, like they don't understand something, they'll put it in this one. And if they just need me to check something real fast and initial it, like for taking a self-test or to confirm that they've memorized something or something like that, then they put it in this I need an initial bin. So then when I'm busy with somebody or doing something and I come along, I can look right away and see this is going to be the fastest one, second fastest, and the slowest one, and I can work. That's the order I like to work in. One last thing that I use based on the junk that I always have on my desk, my piles, and trying to figure out what to do with it, is I have this tray. I think it's actually like made for candles or something. I'm not sure, but I keep this on the desk, and it's clean right now because I've been cleaning my desk, and it won't look like this other times, but this is where we drop random things that need put away that the kids sit on my desk. So like if they bring in a pair of scissors or glue or random screws and I don't know, any just random objects that aren't paper that end up on my desk, I have them just throw it in this bin, and then when I get around to it, I sort everything and put it away. So those are some of the ways that I have organized or tried to organize systems to keep my desk from getting totally out of control. It still does on occasion, but it's a lot better than it used to be. So I hope that helps you guys think of maybe some ways to organize your own desks, and now you know what all this stuff is going on back here. If you want to see any more videos on how I organize things, go ahead and check out the rest of my channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you'll consider doing that. And in the meantime, I hope you guys just have a really great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.